Please welcome the man who'll use any excuse for a celebration. Party animal, Ian Lee.
I told you. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, thank you. Welcome to the 11 o'clock show. It's mental. It's Tuesday, the 20th of April. And celebrity birthdays today include the stockily soulful Luther Vandross, the suavely seductive Leslie Phillips,
Hello,
and leading Nazi Adolf Hitler. Although he was Austrian. With me tonight as ever is my right-hand woman, and yours, Daisy Donovan. And giving relief to our boys in the Balkans, coming live from British Forces Radio, Mackenzie Crook. No, I wouldn't clap in either. If the news were an out-of-control killer whale hell-bent on world domination, there'd be only one man with a harpoon big enough to tame the beast. Tommy Vance, News Slam.
Tuesday, April the 20th. And the Queen goes walkabout in South Korea. She signs her name for a man. He writes her a message back. Don't smile, Lizzie. It translates as, woman, she looked like pig. From a queen in Asia to dogs in danger. And scientists put microchips into pets' necks to help trace cruel owners. I put a microchip into my pet's neck once. No, hang on. That was a fall. From Fluffy's tears to design through the years. And the Dome unveils the best of British inventions. Teletubbies, Viagra, and this airport terminal. What bollocks! Anyone could think of 100 better British inventions. Like... Is swing ball British? From design celebration to insemination. And a scientist says the pill might be dangerous after all. Bad news for lovers. Doesn't bother me, though. I'm a backdoor man. Bam, bam. That's my slam.
Well, those obviously were the big stories, the Oscars of news. But what about the smaller award ceremonies, the ones that no one gives a toss about, the TV BAFTAs? And good luck, Parky, by the way, if you're watching. Well, there's always a place on our mantelpiece for the Red Top Roundup. A chubby union boss stepped into a hotel shower in Blackpool and fell through the floor, exposing all of himself to the people downstairs. He had to stay there for 2 hours whilst firemen cut him out. Still, it could have been worse. Luckily, he had very clean balls. I think we've all been there. Ex-hostage John McCarthy got married yesterday. One of the big guests was fellow hostage Terry Waite. And I would love to have been at the stag night, because apparently they chained him up to a radiator, put a gun to his head and made him shit in a bucket. Parents will soon be able to check if their child is playing truant by looking on the internet. They'll also be able to log on to check their homework. Now, I did have a really funny joke written about this, but unfortunately the dog ate it. And finally, Robbie Fowler had his nose punched by a stranger in a hotel toilet this weekend. He said his nose had taken a right hammering that night, and then he got punched.
Once, if a policeman came to your school, it was either to code your bike, tell you not to get into strangers' cars, or to empty John's desk because he won't be coming back again. But now they're probably coming to look for drugs.
The Sun reveals today that a sniffer dog has caught dope-peddling pupils in a Stockport school. If only more police methods were introduced at school level, perhaps we'd have less trouble with the tow rags when they grow up.
So, teachers, next time a pupil's lunchbox goes missing, simply call in a constable to harass every third black boy until he frightens the confession out of one of them, and then lunchboxes will never go missing again.
Or, if a child forgets his games kit, don't force him to do it in his pants. Just call in the fuzz, who'll wrap him up in a duvet and toss him down the stairs. He'll have had a great workout and he'll never forget that kit again, you can be sure.
And next time a kid says he hasn't done his homework because his mum's in hospital, his dad's on late, and he has to look after his baby sister, simply bang him up.
Sounds fair enough. Now, it might not get him to do that homework, but he'll have plenty of time to catch up. That's obviously when he's not dodging the big men in Strangeways jail.
The Daily Mail reports today that Tony Blair is set to slash the number of Scotsmen in his cabinet in advance of Scottish devolution, although a more disturbing angle on the story was revealed a little further down the page. So what is it about the Scots and the English anyway? We asked Ian to pop north of the border and find out, didn't we?
With Scottish devolution just around the corner and the elections due to be held on May the 6th, I've come here to the capital of Scotland, it's Edinburgh, to find out whether we still have any common ground with our oldest of enemies, the Jocks. Has been a long time since Scotland has run a country. Will they, excuse my language, fuck it up?
No. Why should they?
They'll all be drunk.
Sorry?
They'll be drunk? What nicknames do the Scots have for the English?
Well, some people call them Sassenachs and all that, but
That doesn't really mean anything, does it?
yeah, it just means Southerners, eh?
So what would you like call the English?
Just usually English bastards or something. Usually.
Can you tell me the three best things about Scotland?
The people. So 5 million, yes.
But what I would say is, I went loyal, your heat sort of thing, you know. You don't know what you're talking about, these bad English, that's a cat sort of thing, you know. What you wouldn't take fairly too saying to. But we have never actually got...
I'm going to stop you there just because I can't quite understand what you're saying. I'm sure you know the Queen is insisting that her face is taking off all Scottish money in the future. Any idea who you would like to see on your Scottish money? Ross Davison, I think his chap's name was in Take the High Road, then became High Road, formerly was known as EastEnders. Good or bad choice to go on the back of your money?
I'm going to say a bad choice.
He played the Admiral in the Admiral car insurance adverts as well.
Yeah, that's true. But I think we need a figurehead, really.
The hilarious and accurate portrayal of the Scots, See You, Jimmy.
He's out. He's out.
Why is he out? I mean, he is hilarious, and he's done a lot for educating the English about the Scottish backwards attitude.
Why not? Because I just don't like him, that's all.
Do you not think that's funny, though? If you see there, he's got a frying pan around his thing.
Scotland, that.
Very funny, though. Is that offending?
Of course that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was... So there we have it. Devolution may mean the end of a 300-year relationship, but I, for one, will certainly miss those wee fellas up north. It's been Ian Lee, the 11 o'clock show, Edinburgh.
Now it's time to go over to our tonic for the troops, Mackenzie Crook, to see how he's getting on with his British Forces radio show. Let's have a listen.
And that one went out to all the posse of Cinderella Rockefellers, Night Spot, Montenegro. Had a gig there at the weekend, lot of fun. And now, time for the weather.
Time for the weather.
The forecast for tomorrow, overcast and cloudy, so if you're planning a bombing raid, why not put it off until the weekend? Come on, summer, our boys have got a job to do. Here's Katrina and the Waves with Walking on Sunshine. Ooh, I feel warmer already.
Hi, Mackenzie, it's Ian. How's it going over there?
I am, yeah, brilliant, thanks. Apart from this war thing, obviously.
Yeah, what exactly is happening?
Well, I can't tell you, that's classified. There's a war on, you know, that sort of talk helps Jerry.
Dear God, you are a frightening man. Can you tell us about the morale of the troops?
Well, as you know, our brave boys are at war, and war is an ugly business. But there's nothing ugly about the page 3 lovelies the Sun keeps sending over to cheer them up. They've got really big boobs, and they're prepared to use them. Of course, they haven't gone down quite so well with the refugees. Apparently, Muslim grannies aren't so keen on page 3 stunners, but they like the hats, though.
Thank you, Mackenzie, for your insight and humanity.
Have you seen the old man in the closed-down market kicking up the papers with his worn-out shoes? No, nor have I. But I did meet Labour Minister Nick Rainsford. I let him take me by the hand and lead me through the streets of London, which, funnily enough, is the city he's minister for. Oh, and I also met Southend MP Teddy Taylor, but I don't know any songs about Southend. Ready, Teddy, go. Sir Teddy Taylor.
Hello.
Hello, thank you very much for talking to us. Here in the nick of time, Nick Rainsford. Thank you very much for talking to us.
My pleasure.
With Brussels, do you feel like it's almost sort of like a boxing match and you're constantly getting fisted in the ring?
Well, the trouble with Brussels is that when they decide things, it's not what's right and what's wrong.
If I said I could smell power, how would you look at me?
I think you're right.
It is all about seizing momentary opportunities, isn't it? I mean, do you feel like you're always chasing a snatch?
Opportunities, you can grab opportunities.
But can you grab the
pretend that
snatch?
things are happening.
You could, as one says, sort of, you know, mug the mouse to please the monster.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are difficult decisions to be taken.
You are hand-picked by the population. I mean, how does it feel to be fingered by your constituents?
Well, it was lovely when I first came down to Parliament. That was many years ago. Goodness
Must have been
gracious.
delicious. To be in politics, do you have to force yourself inside the horse?
You have to force yourself at times. You have to do things that you probably instinctively don't want to do.
The prospect of being inside the horse doesn't grab you.
No, that's part of the discipline. You force yourself into the horse, you force yourself to do things that have got to be done.
Yeah.
And then you enjoy the bits that are very enjoyable.
You've got a yellow ribbon. Where are you going to tie it?
A yellow ribbon. Now, what would a yellow ribbon tell me? If I was to put a yellow ribbon on something, would that say it was
You would
good
tie
or
it.
bad?
Well, you would tie it around the old oak tree, wouldn't you?
Because I don't know what the yellow ribbon's meant to display. If the ribbon says this is good, or this is bad, or this is alarming,
It just
I'm not
says it's
sure.
an
The
oak
trouble
tree.
is-
Well, that's the end of part one. But before we go to the break, Daniel Demetriou, the 11 o'clock show's very own New Deal boy, was at the London Marathon this weekend. He went along as part of his campaign to get Nicky Campbell elected as Mayor of London. See if you can spot him. Daisy, see if you can spot him as well. We'll have a little test
Okay,
afterwards.
I'll try.
And join us after the break. It'll be a lot of fun. Daisy, did you manage to spot Dan in that little clip there?
No, I looked everywhere, I couldn't see.
He was the one having a slash against the wall. Anyway, carry on.
Welcome back to the 11 o'clock show. Congratulations, The Mirror. On Monday, they were voted Newspaper of the Year. But hang on a minute. This wasn't the real Newspaper of the Year award, but The Mirror's real Newspaper of the Year award. It was only open to readers of Saturday's Mirror. And just take a look at the results. They won an amazing 70% of the vote. Well done, The Mirror. That means only 1 in 3 of your readers think your paper's bollocks. Good work.
Now, according to the Times, the Church of England has withheld its annual attendance figures for the past 2 years because the figures have dipped below 1 million. But you have to wonder, if God is so brilliant, why doesn't he use his powers to stop the war in Kosovo? Or write a decent episode of Harbour Lights? Or at the very least, get people to go into church? Here to tell us more about God and the mysterious ways in which he moves, it's the Vice Principal of the London Bible College, Mark Green. Welcome, Mark. Please see you. Now, you are the Vice Principal of the London Bible College. What exactly does that entail?
Well, I used to work in advertising, so one of my jobs is to convince you and everyone else in the world that London Bible College is probably the best Bible college in the world.
And I believe you.
I'm glad. It's an easy job. It's an
I
easy
believe
job.
not. Now, why do you think church attendance is falling so much?
Well, loads of reasons, really. Well, one of the reasons is that most people think that Christians are boring, that they're feeble-minded, that they're sexually inadequate, that they're psychologically impaired, that they're sherry-tippling, effeminate wimps.
Have you read my card? Let me cross that question off. Hang on. OK. Well, now, is it true that if you run around a church backwards 3 times, the devil appears?
No.
Oh, well, that's why it didn't work.
But if you're looking for him, you can look inside.
Look inside?
Look
the
inside,
devil's inside?
Often.
I thought I felt a squirming.
Yes, there you go.
The other day.
It's a strange itch, isn't it?
I thought it was something I'd left up there, but it doesn't matter. Now, what do you think that Christians can do to change their image, to make them more popular?
just talk to people that they know. People...
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Doesn't it?
I know Christians, they've talked to me and I've punched them. I mean, is there...
Are you going to do that tonight?
No, not at all, Mark.
Sure?
I'm getting on with you very well. You're
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm really tried you.
You challenge? You want to fight?
Yeah.
Come on. Oh. God versus the man. That would be a terrible fight. I mean, Jesus turned water into wine, as we all know.
You believe that, do you?
No, not at all. I'm just reading it.
Oh, right. You read it with great conviction.
I know.
You're a good actor. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll come and do a nativity play. I'd be more than willing to. More than willing to.
You'd make a good stable animal, I think, yeah.
Thank you very much. I make a good donkey.
I was going to say that, but I just didn't have the guts to say it.
Now, Jesus turned water into wine, and the Bishop of Coventry wants us all to worship in more sort of socially acceptable places like pubs.
Yeah.
Are Christians all pissheads?
Are they? Well, it said there was a time when they were so intoxicated with joy at the arrival of the Holy Spirit that people thought they were pissheads. But usually they're not.
Because if they were, then this could be the new incarnation of Jesus. Let's have a look. Of course it's not, it's just the boozy actor Oliver Reed. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Green, thank you very much for coming in, Mark. Thanks, Mark. Peace. The media adores love triangles. We've had Anthea Turner and the Bovies, Rod, Jane and Freddie, and now we've got the biggest threesome of the lot, Gordon and Peter and Tony.
A new biography of confirmed bachelor and former minister Peter Mandelson prints the steamy letters between him and Blair, in which Tony describes him as his rock and comforter, which is actually an anagram of Randy Cock Fiend.
What really went on between the three of them? We don't know for sure, we can only guess. It's our regular feature, What the Papers Ought to Say. I say that bit. Today's Telegraph quotes from Mandelson's first letter.
Dear Tony, I hope that you don't think that amour propre is at the root of my problem. I've gone a long way beyond that.
What they should have said was...
Dear Tony, I love you.
Then Mandelson goes on to say...
I'm always thinking of you. I would do anything you ask of me, but we have to face up to the fact that we cannot go on like this.
When what he meant was...
Chain me up and whip me like a bitch whore on heat.
In reply, Tony Blair had only one concern.
Have you any conception of how despairing it is for me when the two people who have been closest to me for more than a decade will not lay aside any personal animosity?
Which meant...
I'm going to fuck you and Gordon. Deal with it. Ian's got it, Mackenzie's got it, and now it turns out even the Queen's got it. No, not the pox. At least I don't think she has.
We're referring to Canal Plus, the French cable channel that specialises in horse racing, new films and hardcore pornography. The Sunday Mirror has revealed that Buckingham Palace has been cabled up to receive the channel. Nice one, you Madge.
But we Brits still have the toughest censorship laws in Europe. Why are we such a bunch of stuffed shirts when it comes to cracking one off in front of the box? Well, let's find out, as Britain's best-known film censor, James Furman, gives it straight and hard to our very own Ali G.
Yeah, they don't stop. It goes out to the crew up top. That's it.
Wicked, I is here with none other than my main man James Furman. He is the geezer that signed his name under the films. Now, why do we have censorship?
Well, strangely enough, most people in this country think there should be some kind of regulation of the media.
Aye. You must have seen some real dodgy things in your time, aye?
Yeah, a few dodgy things, yes.
Must be the best job in the world, though. Just watching porno all day.
I know. Well, you think you'd enjoy it, but you don't.
But you've seen 25 years of it. I mean, nobody can, you know, keep it hard for that long.
Yeah. That's not the test I would apply.
What films have been banned?
Very few films that you've heard of have been banned.
So why did they ban Chocolate Orange? Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, nobody banned that except Stanley Kubrick, who made it.
Do you not think that the category 18 is too vague? Should you not have a category that guarantees you muff?
We do have consumer advice now. If you buy a video, you'll see on it exactly what it contains.
So why do they not have that for the films as
They
well?
have it-
This as swearing.
They have it.
This
they
would
have it now.
definitely have.
They have
funny
it
in
now on films as well, but it's optional.
What swear words make an 18?
Well, 18, it's the sexual expletives. But
So is flange an 18 or 15?
I don't know what flange means.
So that is a word for the punani. So in other words, that can get. Well, that is what I'm saying. Okay,
You're coming up with a lot of words I've never heard before.
So there's a whole load of terms that mean the same thing as, you know, what we're saying, the twat or whatever, and they can slip in to a PG
I
if
suppose
you
they
don't
can.
know.
If we don't understand the word.
So do you
probably
not
go
need
through.
somebody who's more street, who knows the terms on the street? So no, oh, wait a minute, they said minge, me know that they're talking about the kitty. So what about the word vagina? Does that make it an 18?
No.
But that is the most dirty word.
Dirty, it's a part
That
of
is-
anatomy.
No, but I make it sound horrible. See. Thank you very much,
Right,
Mr. Furman.
cheers, I
Big up
enjoyed it.
yourself. Do you want to big up anyone out there? Any directors? Give a shout out or something like that?
No, just keep up the good work.
Okay, wicked. Thanks a lot.
The doomed marriage between fairy Prince Edward and People's Porker Sophie Rhys-Jones has suffered yet another blow this week, fueling rumours that the royal wedding is going even more pear-shaped than the bride-to-be. The News of the World reveals that the palace staff had a whip round which they hoped would raise 10 grand for a wedding present, but instead raised a measly £100. A ton. That's barely enough for 8 Bronski Beat albums, a peak leather cap, or 5 gimp masks, like this.
This is just the latest in a long line of snubs to the Pixie Prince. Fact, his dad made him reschedule the wedding so that he could go to a farm show. Fact. Fact, his brother Charles threatened not to turn up after Edward banned Camilla from the service. Even his mother, the Queen, is trying to get out of the wedding. Yesterday in Korea, crowds expected to see the 63-year-old monarch, when instead, out stepped a Korean policeman in sunglasses, who turned out to be a decoy queen.
She's trying to get out of the wedding by sending her Eastern body double instead, but surely the other royals will never stoop to that level. Just look at them all here together in a traditional royal family lineup.
Cockney Diddycoy Daniela Westbrook is back in the news. Daniela, alias Sam Butcher from EastEnders, claims that Paul Nicholls, alias Mad Joe Wicks from EastEnders, could be the father of her child. Until now, the dad was thought to be her druggy lover, Robert Fernandez. But the baby appears to have none of the goofy coke fiend's features.
The tot, named Kai, in keeping with the Essex tradition that kids' names must sound like cheap aftershave, could be the son of a number of candidates, according to the papers. So just why is she claiming that Paul Nicholls is the father? What's her motive? Answers on a postcard. Is it A, she wants her son, whom she loves dearly, to be reunited with his natural father?
Is it B, she happily said her son's a bastard so she can get in the papers and reveal that she wants to get back in EastEnders because she's currently working in an Essex mobile phone shop after blowing all her money on coke?
Or C, she wants the world to know how much cock she's had. First correct answer out of the bag wins a Daniela-style evening, including a trip to Walthamstow Dogs, a kebab supper, and a chance to be felched in a cloakroom. Good night.
Good night.